Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back on the air again. Yes, indeed. Your fondest wish is our command.
In spite of all your calls and letters.
That's right.
They still let us on.
So, friends, welcome to the Bill Crane Report. My good friend Dwayne Weiss is here with me. And we're going to talk about the problems of the day. But first of all, I want you to know that this is show number 150.
Another milestone.
Yeah. Boy, that's really something when we started this 8 skillion years ago. We'll see if we can go for another 150 episodes before somebody takes us and puts us away.
They won't allow it.
Dwayne, you got something that you and I both find to be totally infuriating.
These no-good-nicks that commit crimes, then somebody somehow lets them out, and then disaster hits.
Yep.
Not too long ago, but it was a terrible tragedy with down in the waterfront, one of those new luxurious condos. There was 2 doctors that were murdered in their condo by a no-good-nick, and this guy was a loser. He was a badass news. And he was, I hate to say it, an immigrant.
Oh,
we know
boy.
they don't commit any crimes.
Yeah.
But he had been arrested for robbing banks in downtown Boston. He'd robbed the same bank he robbed now 2 years prior to that. And he would go in, he'd threaten to give me your money, I'm going to kill everybody in here. Well, anyway, he had accumulation of all these crimes, and he got caught. And his lawyer, I don't know, how do you pronounce this guy's name? Teixeira? Tiexeria? Teixeira. His lawyer reached a plea agreement to protect him from being deported, so he could stay a permanent resident. Just what we want, Bill. We want this guy here. The judge, Elisa Grant, imposed a sentence with him for 1 day short of a year, which meant he could not be deported. A week later, he brutally murders these 2 doctors in his apartment. A week later.
Tortured them.
Yeah.
Before he murdered them.
This is the kind of irresponsible, dangerous behavior that's
judges.
engaged by our judges and our authorities in this country right now. We've got to change some of this stuff.
And we are powerless to do anything about it. It's all politics. That's the only way you become a judge in this state is politics. And the politicians protect their own.
Yep. You remember the judge that let the guy go through the basement because ICE maybe was waiting for him out there? I don't know. They haven't solved that case.
No. And she's got a couple of lawyers, and they're singing and dancing that one all over the place.
But you'd have thought she was a hero.
I know it.
Well, she let a common criminal go.
Yep.
Because he may have been deported. Well, he should have been deported. That's the whole damn thing here.
When they come to this country illegally and commit crimes.
That's right.
What should we do? Put a badge on them of honor? Give them a super job? Educate them? I mean, give me a break. When you come here and you're a bad guy and you're here illegally, out the door you go.
That's right. You ain't coming back.
Deported. I mean, there are lots of people standing in line waiting to come to this country legally.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people we want. Not the people that break the law and then continue to break the law and murder people. This isn't an isolated
No, it's not. It's
by any stretch of the imagination.
It's almost daily across the country something like this.
Look at this MS-13 gang.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they shoot people for fun.
Yep. That's part of the initiation, by the way.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Then we got, you got the DA in Suffolk County, Rollins. She's not going to prosecute crimes like shoplifting and other crimes, particularly if they're people of color. We're not going to...
Because there's too many people of color in the prisons.
That's right. So
Well, why are they doing that?
But, you pick up the local paper,
Yeah.
and 4 or 5 of them out of New York City get caught for shoplifting out here at the Rent a Mall, at the outlet stores. And I thought, you fools, why didn't you go 25 miles further north, and you could have had all you wanted shoplifting, and nothing, they couldn't do anything
They
about
thought
you.
that was the place.
Yeah, they thought they were in Suffolk County. is
Real
what it was.
brain
Yeah.
surgeons. The pity of this is we can all see what's happening, and
Yep.
there's nothing we can do about it.
It's just like you're up against a wall with this kind of stuff.
This District Attorney Rollins, there was an article in the paper where they came into this store, upscale. They sold the Canada Goose coats
That's
and
right.
all that.
That's right.
And they came in like a swarm of bees.
That's what they call it. The kids call it swarming.
Yeah. And they stole $48,000 worth of coats.
They run it in a group,
Yeah.
and they just take whatever they want and look you in the eye and say, what are you going to do about it? There's 14 of us doing this. And out they go, and you can't stop them.
Oh. Where is the outrage from District Attorney Rollins?
There isn't.
There isn't. She doesn't say a damn word about it. She doesn't dare. She's wrong. Listen, the Lady Liberty has scales in her hand, and she's blindfolded. All right? She's blindfolded, so she can't tell the difference from people. She only judges the events and how the scales balance. Justice is supposed to be blind. We're not looking at black people, Hispanic people, white people, gay people, long-haired people, short-haired people, athletes, school dropouts. We're not looking at any of that. We're looking at the crime they committed and looking at the law that applies for punishment. All the rest of that stuff is distraction. It should be ignored.
But it's not. They make that the primary
That's exactly right.
That's wrong.
It's the same thing like the admissions to colleges.
Yep.
Listen, again, the colleges should be blindfolded and bring in people based on their qualifications.
That's right.
This is absolute unfair madness. Well, the downtrodden,
Harvard says, well, we'd end up with too many Asians.
Yeah.
Well, if they're accelerating and exceeding in the high school, so be it.
If they're the ones most qualified that have worked the hardest to get into Harvard, how dare you discriminate against
Well, we got they're all social engineering. That's what it is, social engineering.
It is, and it's wrong. Totally wrong.
Social engineering has never worked for any country on it.
No, it hasn't.
Nope.
And I'll tell you something else that hasn't worked for any nation in the world. Socialism.
That's right.
And can you imagine
Oh, my
this
God.
country
I know where you're going now.
facing a vote on a free enterprise, proven in his ability president, or a socialistic nutbag?
Yep.
And can you imagine what happens if the socialists win? Well, first of all, Congress will block them. But boy, I'll tell you, they won't be able to block everything.
Nope.
And they'll start signing executive orders and
people that are big supporters of the socialistic approach do not understand what they're supporting. They don't know They only hear the good parts. What was his name? The guy that the Asian businessman that just dropped out, Wang or Zhang?
Yang.
One of his things was $1,000 to everybody over 18 years old. $1,000 a month to everybody.
Yeah, he's had a couple of different ones out there. Another one was $8,000 a year.
The last one was $1,000 a month. $12,000.
Okay.
Now, what fool out there says, "Yeah, I'll take it"? You're appealing to us. Everybody says, "Yeah, good idea, good idea."
$1,000 a month to you and to me.
But why stop there?
I know.
Why not say $10,000 a month? No, it's better. Just like Publisher Clearinghouse, $5,000 a week for life. Why stop with $1,000? You can't do it anyway, so you might as well go big and promise them anything.
That's right.
It's just, you can't do this, but people don't realize you can't do this. They only see the gravy part of it. Oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. I won't have to pay my student debt. I'll get $30 an hour and doing nothing. I don't have to do anything. It goes on and on and on. They promise and they promise and they promise it. First of all, they can't do it. Number two, they can't afford it.
Number three, Congress will never, ever give them the money.
No. But there's a certain element that's going to support this. And there's a certain element that
it's the gullible.
If I thought that there was $1,000 a month for both the two of us coming in every month for $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year. Hell,
throw them a vote, huh?
I can go to Vegas on that.
Oh, my head is starting to hurt. But the good saving grace is he's dropped out of the race. He couldn't find any support. Yeah. Joe Biden, I'm digging out more of his quotes here. He criticized us for killing the Iranian general. Yet, back in 2007, when we went after Osama bin Laden, Joe Biden, when a country harbors people who threaten the U.S., they forfeit their sovereignty.
That's right.
Changed his tune pretty good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
See, he unlike some of the other candidates, has got a record. Mm-hmm. The rest of them don't have anything else.
It's coming back and biting them right in the butt, too.
That's right. That record, good or bad, is all how it's construed now.
And the Democratic Party is doing their best to reconstrue it.
Rewrite history is what they're doing.
That's exactly right. By the way, they had an interesting bit this morning on television about people moving. And do you know one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. is San Antonio, Texas. Mm-hmm. Sleepy little town. Average house sells for $136,000.
Yep, that's those kind of things are what make an area really attractive.
An average starting income, $50,000.
Yep.
An apartment, $900 to as much as $1,700 a month. Average one bedroom in New York, $2,900.
Oh yeah. See, the difference is the quality of life too is so much different, and your ability to enjoy things because you got some money to do it. You've got the means to do it. Friends of ours, he and I went to college together, and he went to work for IBM, and IBM literally used to stand for I've been moved. Yeah. They would get moved all over the country.
Exactly.
And when he left them at one point, they were living in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. Yeah. He's worked in a Ramsey plant in New Jersey. One of the highest cost of living places in the country. Right outside New York City, upscale. Got transferred to Austin, Texas. One of the lowest cost of living. He said it was like going to heaven.
It's clean. It is nice neighborhoods, and it's very low crime.
His wife said, they went down there, IBM sent them down to look for a house, see where you want to live. She said, I'll never forget, we sat down with that realtor, it was a woman, And the woman says, how much do you want to spend? She said, well, what they were going to sell their house for in Upper Saddle River. And the woman says, I'm sorry, I haven't got anything like that. I got nothing in that price range. And Barb says, how in hell expensive is this place? She says, oh, no, you don't understand. I don't have anything that high. She says, you're talking about a small Ramada Inn down here for that kind of money. In those days, you had to spend it, too, or you had to pay tax on it. You had to put it back into real estate. So she said, it was the best time of their life. They had this house built, and she said they put in great rooms and wet bars and projection rooms, all this stuff that they had to spend back into real estate.
The only problem with that is when you build a house like that, in a neighborhood like that, you can never get your money back.
Well, the thing
unless the whole neighborhood
but this was all new development, all houses like this. But she said, too, you had to be careful. She said, they call it the Ramada Inn syndrome. You don't want to go down there and put 8 bedrooms, because who's going to buy it? You got to make it reasonable, too. You can put it in amenities. Mm-hmm. And some things you're never going to get back. She says a pool and a hot tub, they're gone, That's a bit... But they did. They built a beautiful home.
What a problem to have, huh?
And then you could go the other way, too. I was on a plane one night going to Cincinnati, and I was in an aisle, and the guy was at the window, and it was like a 7, 8 o'clock at night flight. And the guy's he just had the downest look, just disgusted. And he's got real estate brochures and something. House shopping. He said, oh, God. He said, Procter & Gamble's transferring me here. He said, there's nothing we can buy. He says, what are we going to get out of our house in Cincinnati? He says, I don't know what to tell my wife. He says, I might not be able to take the job. He says, it's just going to be too expensive to move. You're going the other way. It's tough.
It is, and Cincinnati is one of the least expensive areas of the country to live in. Most of Ohio is.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed Cincinnati. It's more hillbilly than it is cosmopolitan.
Well, Ohio's an unusual state.
Mixture. It is.
Northern is northern.
Yep.
You get to the southern, you all of a sudden, God, where'd I cross the Mason-Dixon? How come all of a sudden I'm in the south now?
With the rednecks.
Yeah. You get to Cincinnati, cross the river from Kentucky, and the diction changes, the attitude changes, everything's different.
Everything changes, yeah. And turn on the radio, and you got country and western music.
Get your boots on.
So, changing the genre here for a bit, we'll get back to some interesting stuff. But a couple of things I'd like to talk about briefly. The historic No Name restaurant
closed.
Shuts down in Boston. Jacob Worth's shut down last
German
year.
place. We've been there a couple times.
Anthony's Pier 4.
Yep.
Jimmy's Harborside. They're all gone.
Yep. That's a tough business.
It is. But they were there for 1 billion years, Mm-hmm. I used to love to go to Anthony's Pier 4. I had vendors, and they'd tell me, Bill, I'm not, you're giving us X amount of dollars. I'm not spending anything on you. My boss is all over my case.
Mm-hmm.
How about I take you into Jimmy's Harborside, you and the wife? Yeah, great. Anthony's Pier 4. That's great. Between the two of them, they're both great.
They were excellent.
And the No Name night, I took a customer there once. He wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Great food.
We used to go there. We just took one years ago. We actually went into town. We'd go to the aquarium. We'd go to the Science Museum, different things. And we frequently went over to the No Name. That was a good place to go.
You had to pay cash.
Yep.
No credit cards.
Yep.
Anyway, they're all gone. So, part of Boston has changed.
Everybody's... Look around here. We used to have Wellex's.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Hilltop up in Saugus or Peabody.
Yeah.
And then they spread down. There was one in Braintree.
Yeah.
And they were good for a while.
Yep.
And they were busy. Oh, my God. You think this place is never going to go out of business. All of a sudden, they just like the spigot turned off. And
Now you see it, now you know.
Yeah.
And the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's all very interesting, but the real estate in there got too valuable.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's more valuable as something else than what it's generating.
The owners of Jimmy's Harborside or Anthony's Pier 4, I mean, they're making $250,000 in his pocket a year, and all of a sudden his real estate is worth $35 million.
Exactly.
Well, this becomes a no-brainer.
There was an article not too long ago in one of the papers about gas stations in the city of Boston.
Yeah, there is none.
There are fewer and fewer. They're going away because the property they're sitting on is worth so much money, and the guy's making, is putting in 100 hours a week and maybe taking home $40,000 or $50,000, $60,000. Then he turns around and he finds, well, I can sell this for $18 million and just sit back and relax. Go to Florida.
There was a parking lot that sold recently in Boston, and you try to do the math in your head, it just doesn't add up. Mm-hmm. But I mean, $14 million for a parking lot?
Yep.
But somebody's got a plan.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's not zoned, they'll say, "Don't worry about it. I'll get it zoned.
I'll get it done.
I get deep pockets."
Yep.
So, Dwayne.
Yeah.
This is right up your alley. MGM Springfield eager, ready for sports betting action. However,
nope,
it's not happening.
Nope. I was just saying, not that I got against it. Not in this state. They'll be so slow and so behind and so overregulated and so bureaucratic with it, it won't work.
Well, you're absolutely right. And when the gambling thing first, casinos, they passed a casino law. I said, it'll never work in Massachusetts. We had discussions about this. This business about putting one of that into the state and one of this into the state, big ones. Destination. Well, let's think about destination.
There are not destinations.
A destination in Springfield?
Yeah.
Tell me who wants to go to Springfield. One time you go to Springfield is if you have to.
Even Harbor or Encore in Boston.
They put it in the most congested area
dirty,
they could
stinky,
possibly find on a filthy river.
Yeah, and they call it a destination. Who in the hell from Europe is going to say, "Oh, let's go to the Encore in Boston
and spend $500 a night on a room"?
They're going to keep right on going to Vegas, you fools.
Oh, it's unbelievable, unbelievable. But Massachusetts politicians, got their claws into this.
Yep.
The big ones have lots of jobs for union members and brother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws.
A lot of opportunities there.
If there's one thing that goes on in Massachusetts, it's politics.
Yep. And it's always going along to get along.
That's exactly right.
I'll pat your back and you're going to rub mine.
And every time there's a building, the unions, the contractors, everybody, make it bigger, make it bigger.
Yep.
Yeah. That way the politicians can get more graft out of it.
Oh, it's just unbelievable what goes on there. You
need, your permit? They didn't give you a permit for that? Let me talk to a friend of mine. Let me go see the senator.
And the thing is, it doesn't really change. We go from state to large city to medium to a little town like us. It's still there. I give you Norfolk Power Company. Wanted to expand. Wanted to do in this business. They give him more studies and more hassle and more. Well, you got to do this now. Well, I just did this. Yeah, but we got another study. You got to spend another $100,000 over here. And well, I did that. Well, no, now we got another one. After a while, he said, "Goodbye. I'm moving 20 feet into Rentham."
That's it. Until we throw them all out of office.
Yep.
And you know what? It's a benign little thing, okay? I used to trap. I love trapping.
Mm-hmm.
Trapped all my life. And in Massachusetts, it's a long story, but anyway, they banned trapping effectually in Massachusetts. But the first go-around was in the 70s, and my friend John and I, my cousin John and I, my friend, we took the day off and we went into Boston and lobbied the House members, as many as we could talk to, about the vote that was coming up. A lot of them were good. A lot of them said, hey, I don't have a dog in this fight. What do you want, a yes or a no? We want a yes answer. You got it. Good talking to you guys. Have fun. See you later. A lot of them were like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then we went in to see a rep from East Boston. He was eating a sandwich at his desk. And I talked to his administrative assistant. And he said, so let me get this right. You guys are just killers. You kill animals, right? Well, we harvest fur. Yeah, you kill animals.
You knew with a statement like that where he stood.
Yep.
Yeah, you think. Oh.
So anyway, he said, let me talk to the senator. So he goes in, he comes back out. He said, Senator says yes, he'll vote for you. No problems. And here's a little note. Check. Send us a check for the re-elect blah, blah
committee.
Committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And another one, a committee chairman. He said, I'll destroy this. He said, I'll sink this bill. It'll never see the light of day. $500.
Yep.
I went to my association. 600 trappers. That's how many we had in Massachusetts.
That's pretty big for
It
the
was,
state.
yeah. So I went to a meeting, and there was 150 of them there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about this bill, maybe 200, I don't know. The place was
matter.
full. So I get up, and I said, now look, here's the deal. I have been into Boston, and I related the whole story. It's $500, and you know this guy, and you know his reputation is always in the papers.
Mm-hmm.
And he sinks this bill. So when he sinks it, it's good for 2 years, it's gone.
Yep.
Okay, your legislative cycle is 2 years.
Yep.
He wants $500. Never! I said, now wait a minute, damn it. $1 a guy.
That's right.
To trap. Let's be practical. I don't like this any better than you, but I love trapping. Mm-hmm. You guys love trapping. I'll never spend a penny. They voted us down.
Yeah, the question there is, it'll say, is this the hill you want to die on? Yeah. Do you want to commit your whole being to this little fight?
Yeah. And we had like $1,000 in the treasury.
Yep.
I mean, it's not as though we were poor and we're going to have to go to member to collect $1 off each one. But it was $1.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time we had to renew our dues, there'd be an extra $1 charge.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes. And not only that, but in those days, I would probably make a couple of $1,000s a year trapping. I mean, muskrats were $6 or $8 a piece. Catch 300 of those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's $2,400. Mink, fox, and I was in it for the fun. I would trap for fun, or for hard work.
Animal killer.
I enjoyed it, but you can buy whatever you want in the state.
I could never be a trapper.
Well,
I'm afraid I'd lose my fingers. I have trouble setting a mouse trap. I'm afraid that damn thing's going to snap me right on the fingers.
I've set probably 1 million traps in my life. If you count each time I've set a trap, I've caught my hand a couple of times.
Oh,
but the opening morning one year, I got the meat of my hand caught and pinched. I had a blood blister that plagued me for the entire trapping season.
I wouldn't go close to some of those traps. Jeez.
Oh, God. I'm saying the animals have won this round.
That's right. But as far as sports betting, we just are so slow getting anything like that done. We're such a bureaucratic mess.
It is this whole thing. You gotta pay to play.
Look how they pushed Encore, MGM.
Yeah.
Who does that? I can't think of his name now.
Yeah, the pervert.
Yeah. But they pushed him, and they had a special meeting. Now is he fit? Is Encore fit to have a casino
The question should be, are any of you guys on the panel
fit to sit on the panel? But you know what happens there?
Well, yeah.
A lot of little extra money starts flowing in. All of a sudden, well, I'm not sure if you're fit. Well, maybe, but keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. That's all that was. It was a shakedown.
It's like you hire a contractor to do a job, and I'll get you the job to do this parking lot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I want a new driveway at my house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a common one.
One of the companies we bid on contracts with different government agencies, cities, municipal. And we bid on one with the the Transit Authority in New York City for tool tests.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to put these things together. You contracted for hammers and nails and saws and everything. And then they had a big box, a kit. And they had to be all labeled from 0,000 up to 9,000 or something, with a label that had to be metal, and had to be stenciled, and it had to be at a certain spot riveted on the thing. And we shipped truckload after truckload of these things down there. The director of purchasing and I went down, here it is. And he says, well, you guys, he says, I got bad news. He says, we want to send them all back. What do you mean you want to send them all back? We worked on these for months. This is several $100,000 just alone, just on the kits. And he says, where that plate is put? He says, somebody could just put, when they picked this up, they could catch themselves. Maybe they declared it as a hazard. But he says, we're going to send them back. We can't approve this. I said, oh, God. He says, but I have a friend that
will modify.
He will take these things, and in his garage, he'll take them off, and he'll move where this pad. He says, for $300, we could get. I think he'd do it. What are you telling us? There's nothing in it for me.
You reach in your pocket and you get the $300.
How much cash you got on you? And I said,
exactly.
We come up with it. Boy, it got done.
What was the end of that?
That was.
I know. Listen, I called on a big customer, and I got a lot of business from him. I knew the guy that had been at another place that went over to this place. It was out in Chicago. And I had worked with him on several jobs when I was with the Foxborough Company, of all people. We knew each other. So he's over, and now he is the head of inside sales and engineering for this company. So he gets me a couple of nice jobs. $100,000 worth of valves, another $20,000 order. I got over $200,000 out of him the first year there. Brand new account for us. Beautiful. Because I knew the guy. So the following year, a big company came in, one of the big national companies, and blew us out of the water.
Yep.
And I called him and said, Jack, what happened? What can I do? He said, the business is gone, Bill. He said, the buyer sort of looked the other way, let me run for a while. And then he said, remote control better come up with $25K from me next year, because that's what these guys offer me.
Yeah, they used to be blatant.
Yeah. No
qualms about it at all.
He called me and said, I said, if it were up to me, I would try to make a counter offer if I were running the company and it was my company. But this is the guys that are running this company would be appalled. So,
yep.
Good try, but that's it. But anyway, so what the whole thing, the rest of this story is, the two casinos and Plain Ridge are disappointing now. Sales are down. Why is that people are walking around? Why is that?
They're not down. They were just overestimated to begin with.
They're down.
They sold a package of, I will generate $500 million here. When I come in at $300,000, it's going to be bad. If I said I would do $250,000 here and we came at $300,000, it'd be great. But you wouldn't have played the game at $250,000.
No, yeah, but I mean, still, they had their initial bash that when they opened
Every
up,
place does, because
and then it's all tailing off.
Yep. Well, the restaurant's the same thing. You open a brand new restaurant, the people flock in to see what it is.
Why would anybody go to Springfield?
I don't know.
Why
That's
would
the whole.
anybody go drive into Boston?
Well, I'm not doing it. I'm a casino person.
I know it. So this is so stupid. But you put people on the board that know nothing except politics.
That's right.
They know nothing. One woman said, "Oh, gee," that was appointed to the board.
Yeah.
No, I've never been in a casino. I guess I'll have to go to one.
Go to Connecticut, see what they're all about.
Yeah.
She is one of the board members that's making these decisions.
Who the hell put her on the board? Well, you know the answer to that one. My husband's a state senator. Well, anyway. So, other states have casino gambling.
Sure.
But they allow laissez-faire.
That's right.
They want to build a casino? Build a casino.
It's your money.
Yeah.
That's all I said here. What's the difference if they say, oh, you can't put one down in the southern section here because they're going to be overfed. If the state, they make enough money to pay the state $10,000 a year, that's $10,000 either state wouldn't have got.
Listen, Jimmy's Harborside was right beside Anthony's Pier
That's right. They don't mind a restaurant going in side by side.
That's right. So we're going to start
what if one
placing
fails?
Restaurants at other ends of the town?
Yeah. If they say, well, what if one fails? Well, so what? It's nothing to us.
It's not our money.
Yeah.
What the hell do we care? I mean, so what you get in some of these states is small casinos.
Yep.
Now, they have to be a minimum size.
Mm-hmm.
They have to, there's certain things they have to do. But if they do it, they're in business.
Deadwood, South Dakota became famous for that. They got this place back. Years ago, Deadwood was a rough, tough frontier town. Shoot 'em up to just about like you see on television with the saloons and the gunfights and everything. And then it went down. And there was nothing going on. It depressed and poor and stuff. Then they had the idea, let's bring this back like it was back in the 1800s.
In the old days.
The old days. And they opened up the little casinos, the little bars that had casinos, and they had little stage acts. And it's a booming place now.
Listen, you go out into so many, down in Louisiana.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Got the little casinos around. Mississippi has got little casinos up the Mississippi River.
Yep.
I mean, and they make money. And if they don't make money, they go out of business. And who cares?
That's right.
It's private individuals putting these things up. And isn't that really what this country is all about? Free enterprise.
Plus here, what was it? Patrick, I guess, was the governor then. And they said, all right, we'll have one in Springfield, one in Boston, and the third one was going to be the Indians down here.
Yeah.
We'll give that one to the... Why? They don't pay any taxes. They're not going to give you anything back.
They're not even a tribe, really.
No, but if they did get it, they're just going to be a drain. You're going to have to provide all the extra security and the extra police patrols and all the traffic things. They're not going to pay for anything. They will pay you no taxes. They pay you no fees because they don't have to. Why do you bend over backwards? If they want to have a casino, let them have a casino. But let them build their own and build their whatever they want.
You know damn right well that if you gave it the license to one of the Indian tribes, they would turn around and say, we want to be a 10%er. You go ahead and build it.
Yep.
And you pay for it, and you run it, and just cough the money up to us.
But you're never going to see that. They've lost that case so many times already that's a dead issue. That ship sailed.
It is a totally dead issue. By the way, I have a couple of things here that I cut out of the paper. about 2020 and the Globe's predictions.
Oh, boy.
This is great. The Globe's predictions
I read
are ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Now, here's the 2020 State House outlook. So I'm not even going to get too deeply involved in this. But here's the 7 things that they want to happen in the State House. Number 1, transportation revenue. They want the members to take up a transportation revenue bill. Yep. That's going to be good. They can't even agree on when to have a coffee break.
That's right.
Climate change. Oh, that's going to be good.
That'll really be effective.
Yeah, that'll be great. Housing. Now, if there's one thing, listen, look, they should be taking up transportation. Not the revenue of it, the transportation, moving from point A to point B, the most congested damn city in the country. And housing. We don't have enough affordable housing.
That's right.
It is a national disgrace. Across this country, the country that's booming, that has a higher standard of living, and we can't build houses for people because we're going about it backwards. But healthcare. They want more out of healthcare. So I guess somehow or other, they expect Massachusetts will straighten out Obamacare. Yeah, I can see that one coming.
Yeah, right.
Number 5, sports betting and gaming. Well, we just beat that subject to death. But if you think Massachusetts is going to move on this, they'll still be fighting about whose brother-in-law ends up on the gaming.
And every
commission.
state around you is all going to be all set to go.
Yep.
A couple of them already are, and Massachusetts is still going to be talking about it.
Budgeting, education bill implements. Well, we're falling into the trap again. They've allocated a big chunk of money with Governor Baker's education bill, and now we are going to stand beside a wall just like a kid throwing mud at the wall. We're going to throw money at education again and hope somehow some miracle happens and it works. But
it's been proven over and over again. There's no relationship to the money that you spend on that per student education and what you're going to get out of it.
Well, but we've got to, because the schools are hurting. Well, wait a minute. How about the target schools? How about
the charter schools
Catholic parochial school system?
Most of the charter schools are.
The charter schools
spend a hell of a lot less money per pupil and outperforming the public
Well, we don't want that.
Well, they're not union.
That's right. And we don't want to spend on religion either, because they're not union either.
That's right.
Yeah. So who suffers? The kids.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
And the taxpayers. Because we are continuing to waste money on a fool's errand.
Yep.
Number 7, a jobs bill. Well, I'm not sure what this is all about.
I'm not either. Right now, you can't get employees.
Well, not having enough laborers and the constraints on the labor force are holding back growth, says economists. The Baker administration signals in its plan intends to focus on the cost of doing business over the next 3 years, a message the business community will welcome, but one that could well run into obstacles in the legislature. That's right, the unions.
That's what it comes down to.
That's right. Charlie Baker, his resolve is to get something positive done with our colleagues in the legislature on housing, healthcare, and transportation before the end of the session. Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito to connect with more girls and kids of color to STEM opportunities through pathways and internships, ensuring bright futures for them in Massachusetts' innovation economy. Secretary of State William F. Galvin, just to make sure he's got everybody enrolled and they all turn out to vote. Maura Healey, this is a gutsy call on her part. I'm focused on our office helping as many people as we can in 2020. Treasurer Deb Goldberg, to help more families save for their child's education through our new Baby Steps savings plan. On January 1st, all children born or adopted in Massachusetts will receive a $50 deposit.
Isn't that wonderful?
Check off the box on the birth certificate, and the process will begin. Auditor Susan Bump, to put down my phone more and strengthen our democracy by electing a new president. At least she's straightforward about it.
You know where she's coming from.
Elizabeth Warren, just work her heart out. It's nonsense. But this is a good one. Senator Ed Markey, transform the Green New Deal from a resolution into a revolution. Also, read more and snack less. And I found out on his bedtime table, beside his bed, is copies of Little Red Hen and Green Eggs and Ham. So he's got some volumes to really plow through there.
Well, it's heavy reading for Ed. And he's come up. He used to be Dick and Jane. So he's come up in the world.
And snack less means he's going to drink more.
That's right.
But the best of them all is this one. State Senate President Karen Spilka, to get people talking, really talking, about the need for mental health care to be fully integrated into our health care system. There is no area of our personal, civic, or economic lives that isn't touched by the need for quality mental and behavioral health care. And as Senate President, I will continue to fight for access to and understanding of the need for a complete continuum of mental and physical health care. So, according to this professional politician, this is the biggest problem facing Massachusetts.
They all got their little agenda.
Boy, don't they ever? But Bobby DeLeo, I'm going to read it only because of my comment at the bottom. Lots of words, but he said nothing. Pure BS.
That's pretty much his MO.
Bobby DeLeo. This year, I'm looking forward to another productive legislative session, working successfully with my House colleagues to make a healthier, safer, more equitable, and more prosperous Massachusetts, especially for those most in need. I look forward to sharing in those successes with my family, especially my grandchildren, as well as with my district. Finally, I'm looking forward to celebrating even more professional sports titles for our Commonwealth in the coming year.
Mr. DeLeo, that's deep.
Boy, he painted every single wall on that
Lord,
one and said nothing.
Yep.
Going to do wonderful things.
Sounds like you're making a New Year's toast.
Ay. I'm going to skip this one because it was absolute, total nonsense. I don't feel like reading it. It's not. It's actually pretty good, but I don't feel like reading it.
Folks, you all got your mailing from the Publishers Clearinghouse? Inside, and we've been bombed with this $5,000 a week for life. Inside, there's a slip that's required by law now. Look for it. It's white, and it says, sweepstakes fact. They have to expose what the odds are winning. That $5,000 a week for life is now up to $6,200,000,000. That's $6 billion. That's 62,000 million. Think about it this way. There's only 7 billion people in the whole world. So that's like one out of almost everybody in the world. They've never given that away yet, and they're making damn sure they don't. Last time they had it was 1 in 5 billion. This time it's up to 1 in 62 billion. Even to win $1,000 It's 1 in 2 million. Just
Unbelievable.
well, you know, they're just selling as seen on TV stuff, and it's all they want is all they're looking for is your information. They want your name, your address, your age, how many people live in your house, et cetera, et cetera.
They're looking to sell your information.
That's exactly what it is, and they know by the fact that you responded to this means that you will respond to these kind of
That's right.
ads. Then they'll take that and they'll sell it to other companies. That's where they're making their money.
That's right.
They don't care if there's other stuff in here they got everything's like 5 or 6 payments of $2 a month. I mean, come on.
Have you ever gotten any mail, folks, from some strange outfit you never heard of, wanted to sell you something, and you say, how did they possibly get my name? There it is, right there. That's one of the ways. Plus, right there.
Read what the shipping charges are. A $10 item is $7. That's 70% shipping charges.
It's amazing, I'll tell you, folks. You know what? I've been doing a lot of raving. So here's one of the columns I cut out are absurd police calls. This one, I love this one. A woman called the cops in Sebastian, Florida, to report that her boyfriend had pushed her to the ground. But when they arrived, she admitted this wasn't true, but that he had hidden her TV remote, and she actually wanted the officers to help her find it.
Oh, that's it.
She also mentioned she had spent the entire afternoon drinking vodka.
Yep.
There's a couple of others in here. A man broke into a tractor-trailer truck parked overnight in Turbotville, Pennsylvania, and stole 24 cases of hot dogs. Wow.
The Sunday paper has got one of the police blotters local, and the 2 guys that heard a noise in their bathroom.
Yeah.
They went and hid in the bedroom because it was bumping noises in there. Neither one of them had the balls to hold it up, see what it was. It was a robot.
A robot.
One of those floor
cleaning
bumping
robot.
around. It couldn't get out. It was making noise in there. And these 2 grown men are hiding in the closet in their bedroom. They're afraid.
I'll tell you. It's too good to be true. But this one here's a beauty, too. A man parked his car illegally in the handicapped accessible space.
2 bill.
At the Walmart in Grand Island, Nebraska. Nice town, I've been there. But it didn't end there. When police located the driver, they found there was a warrant out for his arrest, and there was methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia in his vehicle.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Well, he really saved himself some time parking in that spot.
Yeah. You see these fools on PD Live.
Yeah.
They're arresting somebody, and this guy's got to stick his nose in it.
Yep.
So they find out, they talk to him, and he's got a warrant, and he goes to jail.
A woman knew she couldn't pass a drug test required by her probation officer in Pineville, Kentucky. She couldn't pass because she had recently used methamphetamines and the painkiller Suboxone. So she used dog urine instead of her own. It didn't work.
Oh, no.
Ay. Well, friends, we didn't get too far into the pile again.
But that's all right.
So guess what? It'll have to
wait
till
brings
next
us
time.
back next time.
That's right. It just brings you back. In a tight job market, Taco Bell is now offering managers $100,000.
Bunch of them. That's the starting for the managers.
So, friends, I don't have to do anything to prepare for our next show.
No.
We still get 90% of this show here.
Plus there's another folder over here.
Boy, oh boy. So listen, friends, have a wonderful, safe couple of weeks here in the wintertime. and check the schedule to find out when we're on, and make sure you tune in. You'll love it. Good night now.
Bye-bye.